Mind of the Meanie is now an exclusive brand partner with WWEshop.com. Pick up all your favorite new merchandise from Roman Reigns.
Acknowledge me.
Cody Rhodes.
I have to finish the story.
LA Knight.
Let me talk to you.
And more using our exclusive link in the show notes. Click below and show your support today for your favorite WWE superstar at WWEshop.com.
Yeah!
You know, Meanie,
What's that, Adam?
we hear this a lot. Every CBD company tells you that their product is the best. With quality control measures like lab testing and QR codes now becoming the standard, it can start to seem like all CBD brands are the same, but I'm here to tell you something, Meanie. They are not. Knowing what makes certain brands better will help you spend your money more wisely and have more confidence as you incorporate CBD oils, topicals, capsules, or gummies into your own wellness routine. And that's why we're proud to partner with Green Road CBD as an official sponsor of Mind of the Meanie. And Meanie, I know you're a longtime user of Green Road CBD. How has Green Road CBD helped you in your life?
Let me tell you, Green Road CBD is a product I've been using for years. And when we started Mind of the Meanie, I always was like, let's get Green Roads as a sponsor because I use them almost daily. Whether it's the gummies, to take care of the aches and pains of 30 years of wrestling, the topical solutions that help my knees, help my back, help my elbows, help my shoulders. Green Road CBD has done everything to help me maintain a pain-free existence from all the years of wear and tear as a professional wrestler.
And to me, Meanie, that sounds like the Green Road's difference. And it comes down to a really few important points. They're just part of the reason that they've won industry awards year after year, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and have heard countless stories from customers just like you about the impact that those products have had on your life. So Green Roads is led by a compounding pharmacist with 25 years of experience helping her community getting healthy. For her and the entire company, it's more than just a job, it's a mission. And not all hemp sourcing is equal, Meanie. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. But they select their hemp from high-quality American farms, and also not all lab testing is equal, which is why they use an accredited independent lab to conduct full panel tests on every single batch. And that's why Green Roads is an original manufacturer, not just a quote-unquote white label brand. So right now, you can go to greenroads.com, Meanie, and save 25% off of your entire purchase. Wow. 25% off of everything, Meanie. That's huge. And all you have to do is go to their website right now, greenroads.com, and use promo code MEANIE at checkout. That's 25% off your entire purchase by using promo code MEANIE at greenroads.com. Own the day with Green Road CBD, and we thank them for sponsoring the program.
This is the Mind of the Meanie. Here are your hosts, the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard.
Peace, world, and welcome everybody to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world according to former WWE superstar, ECW original, and co-star of the London Film Critics' Best Picture winner, the wrestler, the Blue Meanie. We'll cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I'm your tour guide, Adam Barnard, and he is the Blue Meanie. Meanie! What's on your mind?
Hey, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, my friend.
We had a week off yesterday because I forget how dates work. Shout out to had a couple appearances last week. One at Philadelphia, in Philadelphia, which was awesome. And then next day went up to Long Island, which I dread driving in Long Island, but it was a great event. ECW Day at the Wrestling Universe.
Yep.
There in Long Island. And then yesterday went up to Stamford, Connecticut, not for them, but for the Northeast Card Expo. They had me and a couple of the ECW guys out there. So thank you to everybody who had me. Thank you everybody who showed up and hung out. A lot of great fans came out and saw some of the Pod Squad, and here we are on a lovely Sunday morning. getting ready to talk about a whole bunch of stuff.
Yes, lots of stuff today. And actually, Meanie, as a programming note, I didn't realize this when I scheduled the live feed here. I actually selected not just our YouTube page, but also my Twitter account. So we're now live on my Twitter. So enjoy this for a few minutes until I figure this out. But you can join us live, patreon.com/@mine or @mine of the Meanie. Tiers start at just 10 human monies. And Meanie.
Blue Meanie, very cursed.
I hope everything's all right over there, man. I can't get enough, dude. I can't get enough. I don't know, man.
I love Danhausen. Just, and people are like, oh, people are gonna get sick of him. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, no. Dude's been around forever. We're all very familiar with him, and he continues to entertain and stay fresh and pop me.
Yeah.
I saw Mrs. Meanie popping, and she's like, she showed me the video where they do the old bunch of guys back in the day doing at Backlash, and Danhausen just would splice himself in there going at Backlash.
That's so good,
so simple, but fucking hilarious,
man, dude. It's incredible.
Now they're teasing that if he could get a partner, he could face Ms. and Mrs. guy there.
Kit Wilson? Yeah.
Yeah. It makes me wonder who they're gonna who he's gonna have as a partner. But
I have an idea.
Blue Meanie, very cursed.
I'm just saying.
Hey.
Paul Bruce. Conrad, someone tweeted Conrad and let him know to call Bruce. We can work some out here. I know a guy with some Daisy Dukes that may go show up.
Oh, I'm available. But that'd be great.
Meaniehausen would be the name of the team. That would be fucking incredible.
Yeah. Blue House. Yeah, Meaniehausen. I love that everything's a housing. Yeah, there we go.
Jesse Brown. Yep. Jesse Brown, good morning, sir. The partner is going to be Jelly Roll. Jelly? Or as Danhausen says, Jelly Belly. Yep.
It's a good Jelly Belly's a good Smashing Pumpkin song.
Oh, yeah, that's a great reference. Let me see. I want to shout out the Pod Squad here real fast. Hey, can you hit me with that Vince McMahon Blue Meanie, John?
It needs to be tightened up.
The Blue Meanie.
Good morning. We have our Pod Squad Mass Sanity here, the resident professor. Greetings and salutations. Good morning, sir. Jesse Brown's here. Says, good morning, friends. Good morning to you and a pleasant Baba Booey.
And a Baba Booey to you.
Vanessa is here. Good morning, Vanessa.
Hello, Vanessa.
And we have Machete Bankier. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone who is here with us today. Meanie, we got a lot to talk about here, man. I think this is going to probably dominate most of the show here, man. I guess we'll do it in two parts here because the second part was kind of out of nowhere. But the first part, unfortunately, this is the time of year where the post-WrestleMania releases occur.
Yeah.
There was a lot on that list. Surprisingly, there were a bunch of surprises. I think the most surprising to me was and we can pull them apart a little bit here too, but Kairi Sane on that list was shocking for the reason that she just was in the middle of a storyline.
Right.
It didn't get paid off. And it's like, I understand.
It's just like there seems to be a little bit of a disconnect there between the creative and the office,
Yeah.
It's I don't want to say bunch of suits just looking at crunching numbers and trying to figure things out, but it's like if it eventually stuff like that affects the on-screen product, and there's a lot of people upset that she's gone, and rightfully so. You don't want anybody lose their job, but yeah, I mean, she's going to be fine, regardless, because she's super talented. But she was just in the middle of a storyline. It makes you go, are they watching the product, or are they just looking at the numbers? Yeah, and it's very unfortunate. But like I said, she'll be all right.
Yeah.
But God, who knows? Maybe even I can see her coming back sooner than later. Once the oil, like if the online community makes enough noise about it.
Yeah.
I can see them possibly bringing her back. But who knows? Who knows?
That's what Mass Sanity is saying here too. He says Asuka versus Io at Backlash is without the centerpiece of their story. And it's like the entire build for what feels like the past 6 to 8 months has been with Kairi Sane. And now it's like, what are we doing? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. And, you got to wonder who's making the decision,
Yeah.
I don't think Triple H is making that decision because, he's got he's doing the creative. Not like, hey, we're going to think out this, storyline here. And then, you know what? Maybe we'll just release the person halfway through the storyline. Or they just was skipped going into the storyline, It just makes you wonder, like, where's this call coming from, There's people saying, was it Talent Relations who called or was it TKO who called, And in some of these cases. And not quite sure who made the call, but I can't see Triple H being the one who made that call while he's, booking the storyline, and I'm sure he's got to have a little bit of frustration on his part too, where, hey, I'm trying to do the storyline and you're just kneecapping me with taking, somebody out of the equation,
Yeah, it's like it's also too what kind of throws me off sometimes is because I was just in Las Vegas doing WrestleMania media and Aleister Black and Zelina were there and the Motor City Machine Guns were at the media event and everything was great, everything's good, seemed good, and all of a sudden they're gone too, and it's like what? Like I guess for me in my brain I'm going, why have them be a part of this media event? It's the same thing last year that happened with Dakota Kai. She was there, and Dakota's just absolutely incredible to talk to, right? She's just wonderful. And then you talk to her, but then a week later she's gone from the company. And it's just like, well, why even have these people out here doing this if the point is, it doesn't make any sense to me. And I think outside of the second one or the third one I'm going to talk about, the Aleister and Zelina one is one of the most frustrating because it's like they were supposed to be a part of the main event story. The reports, and I trust Mike Johnson. He's the guy I think that initially reported it.
Absolutely.
He was like, oh yeah, this was supposed to be the story was going to be Randy and Aleister Black. And then eventually they were going to have a match at WrestleMania. And instead TKO's like, no, we want Pat McAfee. And I'm not shitting on Pat McAfee. I'm not I want to be clear. Pat seems like a great guy. He's a wrestling fan, I don't have any issues with him. And from what the reporting has said, that he has also said that he was like, him and Jelly Roll were like, we should be a part. Like, what are we doing? So,
right.
What are we doing? What are we doing? I don't understand. I'm having trouble figuring it out.
And it makes you wonder if Punk's statements about, Pat McAfee's agent, being the one who pushing him into the storyline and stuff like that had any credence to it, But with his agent being Ari Emanuel, the guy that they based a character in what's that show? HBO show.
Oh yeah, is it Billions? Is it the one with Rock the Dwayne Johnson?
No, it's like Entourage.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. The one guy's character is based on Ari Emanuel. So he's been around forever. Now he's involved with TKO, WWE, and he wants his client to be a part of the the storyline. He thinks Pat's going to be the next. He was quoted saying the next action star or something like that. And I'm just like, okay, it's good to have confidence in your client, and I like Pat McAfee a lot. I like him a lot, but it's a shame that he got put in that situation, which he probably is like,
yeah.
he doesn't want to get that, residual heat, or the collateral damage from, decisions, above his pay grade,
I'm sure. I was going to say he probably is just like, I'm just going to do this. And look, he's no Bob Odenkirk, right? Like he's not an action star that I can imagine, which again, which is a separate conversation. Bob Odenkirk as an action star is kind of one of the most insane things I've ever said in my life, but it also works. So, whatever. But I don't know, man. The Aleister Black thing, it just fucking, it doesn't it's so baffling to me that they had this story. And it's like Cross last year, right? Like they had this story. Yeah. They had it here. They could have taken it and gone to the next. And it's like, what are we doing? I just doesn't make any sense to me. And then the Wyatt Six, those guys should have been lifers.
Kind of intuitive. Yeah. I was definitely Bo,
Yeah.
That whole crew was super talented. Every single one of them. And, it reminds me back in the day when, Vince, hated tag teams because you got 4 people in one match instead of having 4 people over 2 matches. So you're paying extra money for extra talent. And I wonder if they looked at the Wyatt Six as just like an extra expenditure or whatever word you could put in there to where, we got, 6 people in one match, and just, I don't know. Yeah, it seemed like they were doing a lot, stuff with them. They were popping up down there in AAA, and doing stuff down there. And I would have certainly thought they could have kept Bo for life,
Yeah.
But, again, that crew will, end up somewhere and do really well, It just, dude, it sucks because I've been there, I've been one of those post-WrestleMania cuts. And for some reason, I'm very fortunate that the fan base, went crazy and they had to save the Meanie campaign, which brought me back. But, I know that initial feeling of, hey, go away, put on a new coat of paint, maybe come back. And you're like, oh, what did I do wrong? I just got here. So I'm sure these talents are like, what did we do wrong? We seem like we're in the middle of, doing something really cool here, and then just to get the rug pulled out from under you.
Yeah.
Again, makes you wonder who's making these calls and are they watching the product?
Well, that's the other thing too, is who the fuck's watching the show? Like who's what? Like what? Yeah. And it gives me, as a side note here, it gives me a little solace to know that like when we were in Vegas, Malcolm and I had like about 30 seconds to go over to WrestleCade, or WrestleCon rather, excuse me, as I got a chance to talk to Will Ospreay. Yeah. And Cross was there. And, Malcolm and I always try to say hi to Cross whenever we see him, right? So he was along the wall, right? With Kevin Nash, Mick Foley. I think Mickie James was on the other side of him or somebody else of note to that stature. And it was like Nash, Foley, Cross, and then it was Mickie James or whoever else was the other big person. Cross's line was the longest one. Just consistently all fucking day. Like his line just wrapped around. And I'm like, I love this for him. And then you look at it and you're like, they really, and again, I don't mean to get elevated, right? But it's just like, they really dropped the fucking ball on this guy. They really did. There's no other way to say it. They dropped the fucking ball on him. And it's like, how can these two things equate here? How can he have so much line, how can he have so many people that support him here and you can't do anything with him on TV because it's obviously people are responding to this. You have an entire movement of people who want him to do something. And it's the same thing with Aleister Black. Like all that stuff was starting to get over. It was starting to resonate. You have a really solid storyline here that you can build with Randy Orton, with Cody, even with Jacob Fatu and Drew. Like all of the Meanie make it make sense.
That's why I'm glad I'm not a booker.
Me either. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Aleister Black could have been the guy making the phone call, or if you want to get a fucking super mega ultra pop, imagine Karrion Kross is the fucking guy making the phone call to Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Out of sight, out of mind. comes back and, not that he need to go away to, come back again, but, think of all the times somebody's gone away and when they come back, they get that huge fucking welcome back pop.
Mm-hmm.
Karrion Kross, being the one making the phone call to Randy Orton, once it would be revealed, it would have been thermonuclear, I think.
Dude,
but
I'm just putting up Scorsese Absolute Cinema hands right now. In case you're listening instead of watching. That would have been holy shit, dude.
Of course, I'm doing it with the benefit of hindsight. Put me in a room. Like I like to think I'm a good muse. You give me your idea, and then I go, but what about? And then ... This. I think I could be put of some use to that. But yeah, Kross, a guy who hasn't been on TV in a while. He's been on MLW.
Right.
MLW is fantastic.
Unbelievable, yeah.
And he's doing really cool things with the MLW title, taking it all over the world and defending it, and making MLW even more recognized than they already are. But, the fact that, like you said, his line is consistent and money talks, that's the thing, What's the saying? Vote with your dollars, If you don't like something, don't buy it, If you like it, spend money on it. And people are consistently spending their money on Karrion Kross.
And it's consistent everywhere I go. Every time I'm in the vicinity of Killer Kross, his line is, and the whole day too. Like it's not just like it's like there's breaks, because obviously you guys got to take breaks and stuff. And then when he comes back, it's like the line is twice as. It's like holy shit, this guy is still over. And I don't know if I shared this story the last time we talked about WrestleMania media, but like Aleister Black didn't get me in trouble with the WWE guys, right? Like I'm going to be clear. But like Aleister can talk. And I love when people tell stories. Like I've had the pleasure of talking to him twice. The first time was last year at SummerSlam, like right after he came back. It was like his first media junket with us. And then I got to talk to him again. And I want to say we went like 6 minutes. And so during that whole time, WWE's guys, because they try to keep it tight. We try to keep it to a tight 3 minutes. But Aleister was just like talking, and it wasn't like it was somebody just rambling to ramble. Like it was very insightful and thoughtful and building this beautiful weave of story that he was trying to get across about like different things. And we talked about the Randy Orton thread and Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll and stuff. But it was before a lot of that information had come out about Black being the guy. And they were trying to get him over to the Shannon Sharp setting because him and I think Zelina wanted to see if she could be on Shannon Sharp, and they agreed like last second. And so I was like, hey, listen, I'm really sorry. Like I want to make sure that like, I give him enough time. And he was like, they were like, oh yeah, don't worry about it. Like everything's, you're good. Like you're not in trouble or anything like that. But like, I say all that to say that like, I could have sat and talked to Aleister Black for an hour and a half. Cause he's just so like, he's like Kross, like the wheels are just always spinning in his brain, right? Everything is just always going and going. And I love that about him. And I love even with the eye and everything else, like just, it's a shame. And I hate that they're gone now, and it's not something I expected, but we got the Pod Squad lighting up here. Let me just pull back here and get some of this here. Mass Entity says Aleister Black. No.
That's what I love about doing this. The Pod Squad's lively today.
Mass Entity says Aleister Black. No, I didn't misspell his name. That's what Danhausen called him. Yes, that is correct. Vanessa says the price is creative, and now there's rumors about TKO wanting talent to sign TKO contracts over WWE contracts. And that's what we're going to talk about in a second here with the second wave of surprise releases. Pat McAfee could, as his Mass Entity, could easily be a great heel manager mouthpiece, but when it makes sense. Yes, that's the other thing too. He was so good at getting that fuck you heat. He was good at getting that fuck you heat. It just wasn't the right time for it.
He was still over as a babyface announcer, we'll watch TV, I'll watch some of the shows. and Mrs. Meanie will be over at her workstation doing, her arts and crafts, and I'll be on the couch watching. And like McAfee would hit like a one-liner, and he would pop. I always say if you could pop Mrs. Meanie, you're good. Because she can shit on anything. she's a good heel. It's like, oh, come on, that doesn't make sense. With both things. And she's usually right. But like Pat McAfee would consistently just pop her. And sometimes when she pops, I pop at her pop. Because like, she has this little brother laugh, that cracks me up. And she's my wife and she's my little brother. I love her. But, McAfee was, consistently, great on the mic, doing play-by-play, just putting, getting juice into the storylines and situations that turning him a heel just seemed counterintuitive,
Yeah, and to be clear, Mrs. Meanie has a 110% success rate on calling bullshit. I love that. So I just want to make sure that we are aware. So, but you're right. Like, what are we doing? Why is he like? It doesn't like you. It would have made sense again if you had kind of like, I don't know, maybe if you had built it over like 6 or 8 months and like kind of started to spin the wheels a little bit and kind of go. But again, like, you put Pat McAfee in a seat with Corey Graves as an announcer, like Pat's gonna get the love, right? Because that's Corey's job. Corey's job is to get the heat. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know, man. Like again, but he did really well. It just wasn't the right time.
Yeah.
Mass Sanity says, I just watched Nobody Chew last week. I was thoroughly entertained. Were you sports entertained is the question. And Bob Odenkirk as an action star doesn't make sense, but it works. I'm for it. So just finished Better Call Saul too. And let me tell you something. That was.
Yeah, that's another movie. Dude, usually spinoff shows don't do as well as the original show. And dare I say, Better Call Saul in some ways was better than Breaking Bad. Just the way it was done. And big Bob Odenkirk fans here in the Meanie household, to the fact that we usually just watch documentaries. We don't watch movies, but Mrs. Meanie is like, I was like, I kind of want to watch that. I was like, yeah, me too. And we watched it. It was fucking great, so got to check out Nobody too soon. Yep.
I watched Nobody. I think it was Nobody I was on a plane. I can't remember where I was going. Maybe I was going to, was it New Orleans? And I watched it when I was flying down and I was like, wow, this is good. Like, I like this, but yes, I would agree with that. And with Better Call Saul. What's crazy to me is that they built the entire show on 2 parts, right? There's the line that he says in Granite State where he's like, best case scenario, in 6 months, I'll be the manager of a Cinnabon in Omaha, right? And then there's the scene in his first appearance on Breaking Bad where they have him in the RV, the crystal ship, and they pull him out and they have the grave dug. And he's like, it wasn't me, it was Ignacio. Did Lalo send you? That little throwaway line built the entire show. And I was like, this guy, Vince Gilligan, doesn't fucking miss. Like, he's so good at going back and extracting and putting it together. And what I loved so much about it, and maybe we can dive into this a little bit and we'll get into the New Day, but I feel empty after watching Better Call Saul. And not in a, like, it's not an empty in the sense of like the show was the shits. It's empty because it's like, wow, everything that happened wasn't Walt's fault. It really was a direct result of everything that Jimmy did. Like Mike's death and Gus and Lalo and Howard and here he is alone. And Chuck too. Like, here he is alone in this black and white world. And like, fuck, I feel empty now. Like, there's no happiness. There's no joy because everything the guy did was I don't know, man. It's probably the perfect television tragedy, because it's so good. What do you think?
Somebody's got to do like a fan edit, where they, they'll take movies and re-edit them or take all the post Breaking Bad world, splice those parts together.
Yeah.
And then the pre-Breaking Bad stuff, put that together, have that melt into Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And then they did the movie El Camino.
Yes.
Which, the Breaking Bad movie, which tied up a lot of knots at the end. There's a lot of loose threads there tied up in El Camino as well, where you're like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody could just do a super fan edit of all that stuff and make, like when somebody took the Godfather and made the chronology.
Yes.
Where they because it's shot out of sequence and they put everything in the correct timeline. It's like if you would take Pulp Fiction and put it in the correct timeline.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
So I wish somebody could do that with like Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, El Camino, which it probably exists out there. I know I have a friend who gets all those fan edits, and it's pretty cool to watch. Other people's visions of movies, and creating entirely new storylines out of it.
There's a one line that in El Camino that I consistently walk around the house saying now, where he's like, "Yeah, you do. You're the guy. Look, I'm 96% sure you're the guy. Can you just, just all day long? Yeah, you do. You're the guy. Man, that shit, so good, dude. So good." And again, they tie it back in and the disappearer and all that stuff. Like, there's something so sad, like profoundly sad from a storytelling perspective from that. Cause me, dude, and we've talked about this a lot over the course of how many years we've been doing the show now, but like, I love that, the morality play, the story of like how this person got here or why they make the decisions that they do. And like, you never really figure out why Jimmy does what he does. Like there's no sense of it. It's just, he just does. And it's like, I think that was the one scene with Howard and Lalo when when Howard eats it and you watch it and you're like, it's so violent and it's so abrupt. And it's like, it had to happen. Like Vince Gilligan's talked about, he's like, this piece had to happen because Jimmy needed to be, there needed to be this thing. Like, you can't just get away with shit all the time. You have to have this consequence. Yes. And it was like, oh my God, I can't wait to go back and watch it again. And then I'm going to watch Breaking Bad again. And then I'm going to watch El Camino again. Cause El Camino, as friends of the show know, is my movie that I watch when I'm flying anywhere. But thank you for indulging us in that tangent, friends. We appreciate you.
That's what I love about this show. We go down side roads. Like, hey, did you see the mashup somebody did of Casino where Joe Pesci's character gets whacked out in the middle of the field, and they blended it in with what's that movie? If they build it, they would come.
Field of Dreams.
Yeah, and the voices, he hears is Joe Pesci getting whacked, and you see him looking over in the bushes, looking at Joe Pesci getting whacked. Somebody did a mashup, but that was fucking brilliant.
That is
hilarious. Speaking of mashups, fucking Danhausen, Aleister Black, right before the release.
Seriously,
Danhausen went up, he goes, and then Aleister Black goes, no. He goes, oh, okay, and this scurries off. Fucking brilliant.
It's so good, man. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Blue. As friend of the show, Dave LaGreca would call you Blue.
Yes. And before we get on to the next thing, Netflix needs to do something with Danhausen where he hosts his own horror movie show. Like Son of Svengoolie, where he introduces a movie and then they do like a fake commercial break. Oh, you're still here, huh? And then, they go into the next part of the movie, and, just Danhausen needs to have like his own, like 80s era Saturday morning horror movie show where he introduces movies and does skits in between, acts of the movie,
But it's the same way he does his movie. Like, he mispronounces names and shit. Like, he's got, like, it's got to be the full regalia. You know what I mean? Like the whole, almost like a Tales. Yeah, almost like a Tales from the Crypt type of thing is what like how I'm imagining it. But but you could also do some of those classic horror movies too. Oh, wait, yeah, here we go. Friend of the show, Heather Riley is here. She says, where is it? Hold on. Danhausen and Elvira hanging out would be wonderful. Yes, literally that. That is like that whole. Oh my God, Meanie.
That needs to happen.
Conrad Thompson, I know that you're watching right now. I know you're a friend of the show. We need this. So I need you to get on the phone and call Bruce and Paul, friends of yours. We can call them Paul. We know, Paul with that. Try, if you will. Get on the phone and give him a shout. And let's we're leaving money on the table here, friends. Okay? Let's do this shit.
Yeah.
Danhausen did appear on the last drive-in with Bob Joe Briggs. Got 2 first names. He was great.
I have to check it out. I have to check it out.
Danhausen's Reviewhausen YouTube stuff, movie reviews were great. They were so incredibly inaccurate and hysterical. Is that still a thing? Is it still up?
Post that in our Facebook group there.
Yeah. If you don't mind, Mass Sanity, I would love to watch that because I didn't even know. I know there's some stuff of his that's still out there, but with WWE IP now, like I know some things get pulled. So if that's still out there, I gotta see that.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah. So good. Oh my God. Like now my head is spinning. I'm like, where could we go with this? Like imagine him doing like a Halloween, like Michael Jackson Thriller.
Yeah. He could be like the USA show, USA Up All Night.
Yes.
Or what's her face.
Yes, dude. Yes, that would be
Night.
Backlash.
Blue Meanie very cursed.
That's gotta be my text tone or something.
I'll send you the clip. I'll text it to you.
I'll figure something out to do with it.
Let me see. Jesse Brown, he says, going back to the Wyatt 6. Speaking of scary and spooky stuff, they dropped the ball after the Wyatt's debut. Yeah, I think so. I think Solomonster was the one who talked about this. I think what they should have done with that is allowed Bo and that group to like kind of have their own like final goodbyes to Bray with the characters and like, a couple months, like kind of build up and then like release it, and then build into something new. Cause I think you could have got really good, solid, like babyface love for a Bo Dallas return. I don't know if you could have ever made him a WWE champion, but like, I'm sure there could have been, stuff. There could have been title runs, all kind. There was a way they could have built back to that, right? And with a lot of these characters too, I think like Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis, and even Eric Rowan, like there was plenty of stuff. Nikki Cross, plenty of stuff they could have done with all of them. And like you said, Mass Entity, the Wyatt 6 were never going to main event shows, but Lumis and Gacy were good as a team. Absolutely, that's what I mean. Like there were a handful of things that they could have done that would have easily spun it back, and I think it's a shame. I had the chance to meet Malister Black once. He was very personable. We talked about me praising him to Tony Khan, New York hardcore music and black metal bands. Yeah, I mean he was fucking great. I wore this. My friend Dean, who runs a clothing company called Risk versus Reward Clothing, he gave me a shirt. It's all the photos. It's this like it's like a Joker card, and it's got Vlad the Impaler's face on it, and he loved it. He thought it was fucking great. So I really, just sucks, man. Here's a good tidbit from the professor here. WrestleMania X star Rhonda Shear was the host of Up All Night with Gilbert Gottfried. Now, there's something I wish that we could have gotten. A Danhausen and Gilbert Gottfried collaboration.
Gilbert did a cameo for Danhausen somewhere. It was in my feed the other night. I dig it. It's on Instagram.
Okay.
Like somebody bought a cameo and had it sent to Danhausen. This is Gilbert Gottfried here to talk about Danhausen. And
oh my God,
it's on Instagram. I
gotta find it. Yes. Oh man,
I'll post it in our kayfabe group there.
Please do. And don't forget, like I said, if you want to join us and find out all this other cool shit that we're doing here, patreon.com/@mindofthemeanie. Tiers start at just at $10 human dollars.
Blue Meanie very cursed.
That's never going to get old. Now, I want to talk about one other thing is obviously got to talk about this here. And it's like there were some surprise releases that occurred. I think it was yesterday. Out of nowhere, actually Muscle Man Malcolm sent it to me in a text message. The New Day, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston mutually parted ways with WWE, as did JC Mateo and Tonga Loa of the MFTs, which all four of them two of them were just involved in a storyline. They have been involved with the Jacob Fatu and now kind of ancillarily related in the Jacob Roman storyline. And I don't have to tell you about Kofi and Woods. Like, what the fuck, man?
Apparently they wanted Kofi and Woods to sign TKO contracts and, restructure their deal kind of like a Howie Roseman's always restructuring somebody's deal to get some more room under the cap there. But
Yeah.
and I don't know what the price difference would have been, but it had to be significant if Kofi and Woods were like, nah, we'll test our talents elsewhere, kind of thing. So they kind of said nah, because they know their worth,
Yeah.
But
and good for them. Good for them for doing that. For sticking and staying firm to that.
Look, I don't think they're hurting for money, but I think they know that they have options now. And Tony Khan has a platform. And there's a dream match there of New Day versus the Young Bucks.
Oh, holy Santa Claus shit.
Yeah. Yeah, they know that. And I think the Bucks know that too. But, there's so much fresh material out there for them to be a part of that they're like, you know what? We've had a good run here.
Mm-hmm.
Just like anything, they can always come back. You can always go back. They could go over to AEW, see how they can work outside the WWE machine. Because there is a difference between working for WWE and working everywhere else, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's not, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because it's proven they draw, hundreds of thousands of people, every year to WrestleMania, just not because it sucks, but because they have a proven formula. But once you get outside of that WWE bubble, and you go from being a house cat to an alley cat kind of thing, and you're fighting to survive there on the indies. It's a good thing. It's a good thing to be able to do. And I'm not calling New Day house cats because they wrestled elsewhere before WWE, but like I said, they got this whole new world of opportunity and new matchups, and it'll be exciting to see what they do. Yeah, I can see why people are upset about it, but if I'm the New Day, I'm probably excited, for the opportunity to go somewhere new and see if reestablishing themselves in a different area. Back in the day when wrestling was a territory system, that's all you did was you went to a place, you establish yourself. 6 months later, you leave, you go to another place, you establish yourself there. So by the time you come back to the first place you started, you got a little bit more polish on you, a little bit more shine. Right. And, this is a good thing to do. It's not necessarily the territory systems, but it's that new thing of, all right, let me go over here and try something new. So when I go back to WWE, there could be more talent there for us to work with when we go back. So I can see where people. The only thing that upset me is I don't think they should ever have gone heel.
Yes,
but
correct.
To me, they were the perennial baby faces. Lovable guys. Why turn them heel?
Right.
But with this new opportunity, wherever they show up, they're going to be the baby faces.
Absolutely.
And,
yeah.
Hopefully, I don't know when their deal is up, but hopefully soon we'll see them, AEW,
I was going to say, I'm sure I think Mansanity just said it here too. He says the team of Kofi and Creed will be in AEW on or near August 1st, which 100%. 100%. I would not be surprised if it is a 90-day out for them. And again, too, to be clear, like it depends on, because this is different than a release. This was a mutual separation because they wanted them to sign a new contract. From what Fightful and Corey from Body Slam have said, it was a mutually parting because of the new contract they wanted to sign. So I think from a legal perspective, it depends on what that language says in there, right? If they parted ways, they're done. Oh, it already okay. So thank you, Mass Entity says it's been reported they have 90 days. Okay, so that I wasn't sure of because I think I know with a release and main roster's 90, NXT is and any developmental is 30. So thank you for the update there. I appreciate that. And Mass Entity says their heel turn was fantastic. Nothing came from it.
Yeah, they'll they'll sit home, pay, collect the check there and get a chance to heal up any nagging injuries that they've had.
Mm-hmm.
Being on working full time never, gave them a chance to let heal. You go home, rest, recharge the batteries, physical and mental, and if they show up in AEW, they'll have some fresh legs and a new sense of enthusiasm. Not that I'm not saying they lost it in WWF, but it's fun to go someplace new.
And again, it's I didn't necessarily mind their theme music. I think friend of the show Megaran made that music, so I love everything that guy does. Megaran's fucking like just the greatest. Shout out to Megaran. And they dropped down the card. Right, that's what I mean. Like, you could have done so much with these guys. You could have done, like, Xavier Woods never won singles gold in WWE, and that's a fucking crime. But I wonder.
I didn't even realize that.
He was king of the ring, which is great, but it never went anywhere, right? So, but I wonder, because you brought it up, and then we'll get into our last segment here. I wonder if there's going to be some kind of, kickback for this. And if it's gonna be like a Save Meanie, if it's like a Save the New Day, because it's dominating wrestling Twitter and the stratosphere right now. It is everywhere, and I wonder if something similar is going to happen with that, and maybe they come back and redeem themselves. But it's now Roman Reigns is off the card now after June.
Yeah, I'm going to name the campaign right now. Renew the New Day.
Oh, somebody tweet that quickly and tag the list.
TKO, let's renew the New Day.
There you go.
Give them the money they want.
Or be cursed because you're cursed.
Give them all the human monies.
All the human monies and perhaps some teeth if you want. Pay the tithe. But, then Mass Andy says the New Day leaving will overshadow the Kyrie Sane outrage. Yeah, I mean both of them still I feel like are they're I mean all of it, right? Like Alistair, Zelina, Kyrie, New Day, like they're all like, what the fuck, man? This is crazy. And again, it's
like when Farrah Fawcett died and everybody's like, oh no, and then Michael Jackson died the same day and everybody forgot about Farrah Fawcett,
God, Jesus Christ. Well, I hope that something good comes from it, and I know that it will.
Yeah.
It just sucks, and it's not pleasant to talk about. But, Meanie, I have a question for you.
So soon?
I think.
Blue Meanie very cursed.
I have just a quick thought. I was thinking about it. It was something that was on my brain, and I wanted to ask if it was okay, if it was appropriate to ask, sir. Are you ready to ask Meanie?
I would love to. It's time to ask Meanie anything. Ask me something.
Don't forget to tweet us your questions using the hashtag AskMeanie, and you may hear them on our lovely weekly program. Meanie, what you sipping on today, brother?
Yeah, man. I've been going with the bowl and baskets here for a couple of weeks, so got the cherry vanilla.
Nice.
For those who are not familiar with Bowl and Basket, is ShopRite's brand instead of just being generic, whatever. But I dig it. I was going to get the cheap shit from Aldi, but I found the good stuff. The real deal Holyfield, the sparkling ice pink grapefruit. Check you out.
Listen, I went a little fancy for the show this week. Just went a little fancy.
Yeah, right. Look at you.
Thank you, sir. All right, we're going to crack these and hope you're enjoying whatever you're liking anywhere you are today, this morning, or whenever you're listening to us this week. All right, we're going to crack them. 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Drink it down. It always goes down smooth, friends. Gonna let it air out a little bit like some wine, like a fine wine, except a fine seltzer. I'm gonna let this breathe a little bit. It's got notes of pink and grapefruit. Pinky's up.
If you could give me 1 second here.
You got it, dude. I want this air out a little bit. It's like I said, like a fine wine, I'm gonna let this air.
A little behind the scenes here.
So delicious here.
There we go.
There he is. Carl, leave that all in because I'm airing out I'm letting the texture and the notes from the sparkling ice like wine just like breathe a little bit, a little bit of airiness to it. A little bit of pink. Like I said, a little bit of pink and some grapefruit notes there. So it's kind of nice. No sugar though, because as we know, it's 0 sugar. So
check you out.
Mm-hmm. I could sure go for a Baby Ruth right now. And let's go back to our questions here. Let's see. We'll start at the top here. We're going to go. Matt from Dover wants to know, why is the movie The Frighteners the best underrated horror film of the 90s?
That's Michael J. Fox, right?
That is correct. One of my favorites, too.
My favorite scene from there was when the drill instructor from Full Metal Jacket is in there somewhere. But
yeah, yep.
I'm going to have to I'm going to have to revisit that one. I haven't watched that in a while. Like I said, I'm mostly into documentaries and stuff, but goddamn, what is wrong with me?
Goddamn.
I am so gassy. Usually it's the other end, but yeah, 80s, 90s movies are, some of the best,
Yeah.
But yeah, Frighteners is definitely up there. I totally forgot about that movie. But
That's a great flick, man.
I have to revisit that.
Matt from Dover's actually got another question. Actually ties into what you just mentioned here. Thoughts on the Hogan doc?
Yeah, watched it. I have to say it was very well done from editing, aesthetics, soundtrack. Watch some of that old Florida footage they had in episode 1, and the end of each episode popped me because they had like different theme songs of his, and people can dissect everything he says. Well, Hogan lied about this. Hogan lied about that. It's like, Hulk Hogan and the Truth have never been really good friends, but they put it out there in a way to where you could just draw your own conclusions. I believe,
Yeah.
If if you're a history buff like you and I are, and the Pod Squad, we can figure out what's what. But I watched it, I enjoyed it. I was shocked that his, wife, was included, because they had a nasty split, and she spoke highly of him, which, made me go, oh wow, that's kind of cool, that she can put whatever transgressions that happened between them in the past and at least acknowledge, the good things he did.
Yeah.
A little surprised Brooke wasn't in it.
Yeah, I know that they haven't spoken in a long time, so I'm not surprised that she's not there. But
but just watching it, it was like, we breezed right through it. I think we watched the first 3 episodes, and then we watched the last episode the next day because we were watching till like 3 a.m. But I could easily watch episode 4 too. But I was like, you know what, I gotta get up early. Let me save this tomorrow. But I thought it was well done. I've seen there's, some documentaries that have come out, and, just if it's, no matter what the subject is, if it's not edited right, or, certain things aren't done right, it takes me right out of the documentary. And I don't want to shit on any documentaries because, I love the subjects, but it's like, oh man, I wish that documentary could have been better. Like I love the Raven documentary. I'll say that, I love the Raven documentary. Hogan's was good. They, hopefully this opens up to Netflix to doing more documentaries,
Yeah, well, as a side note, y'all here in the Pod Squad are going to be the first to know about this. I had an interview with Brian Storkel, the director of the documentary, which will be coming out on, I believe, the interview is going to drop on Tuesday over there on the Sportster, and we got a chance to talk. We talked about 10 minutes. He's very insightful with it, and there's a lot of good stuff we talk about. But I told him while we were talking, one of the things that I really liked about the documentary is the fact that like it didn't lean you one way or another as far as how you feel about him, right? Yeah. And he's, Brian said it in a couple of interviews. He's like, a lot of people are really conflicted and they're, there's a lot of, weird feelings about Hogan and how they used to feel as a kid and these happy feelings about the red and yellow. And then they think about, Terry as the person. And it's like, he's like, I hope it gives people the opportunity to allow themselves to feel happy when they think about that Hulk Hogan character and be able to separate those worlds out. And for me, it kind of did. It was like, I feel weird. I feel weird talking about Hulk Hogan and how much I used to love the character and how much he meant to me as a kid. And then, all the other stuff that happened, the racist comments and the Trump stuff. And it's just, it's hard. Like it's hard to, with those worlds. And, I thoroughly enjoyed it. There was a lot that I learned about it. So if you haven't watched it, go out of your way to watch it. I also got to talk to a guy named John Thorne, who runs AIW, and they have a documentary coming out about their promotion. And I don't know if fans aren't familiar, if you're watching, you're not familiar with it. It's basically, it's one of the, it's like a very popular independent wrestling group. And,
out of Cleveland, I believe, right?
Out of Cleveland, yeah. And Kevin Owens and Britt Baker and Eddie Kingston and like a lot of your favorite stars have started in this promotion. And it was very, very well done. The movie's called Slow Burn Shoot. And I'll have more information for you guys if you want to check it out.
Oh, absolutely. Let me know.
They're doing a couple runs of that as well. Actually, they're doing a premiere in New York. I'll see if maybe we can head up there together. That would be a lot of fun. And let me see what else we got on. Mass Entity had to go in here. Remember when Hulk Hogan slammed the 900-pound giant in front of 150,000 people at WrestleMania? I do.
Yeah.
And he did it 3 times in a row, and he didn't hurt himself.
Yeah, while he was cooking something on his Hulk Hogan grill. And
he slammed the giant and then played the Silver Dome with Metallica, says Matthew Elvis Presley. I forgot all about that. I forgot! Yeah. So we got one more question for you here today. Mass Sanity, the professor says, do you wait for the Young Bucks and Kofi and Creed, or do you do it immediately at All In? If you're the booker, Meanie, what do you do?
When is All In?
August 30th. August 29th or August 30th.
I mean, that'd be a nice little pop to get some extra ticket sales, That's England, right?
England, yep. Foggy London town.
Yeah. I mean, they can lead up to it with mysterious things happen to the Young Bucks, and then all of a sudden, they've been challenged, to a match in Wembley or in London, and that could be the coming out party for the New Day.
Yeah.
And I think people, are smart enough to put 2 and 2 together, and they could pop some extra ticket sales there. So I would do it.
I'm about it, man. I think that would be the way to do it. I think that's probably what they're going to do. I think if Tony's, and Tony seems like he's in a great position right now. Shout out to AEW as well. Like I said, their guys are fucking phenomenal and they're great. I think Tony's got a good plan here. And if I'm Tony, I don't think you need to open people are like, give him a blank check. Yeah, I'm sure he will, but here, what do we need to do here? Right. Because it's not even just the tag team division. You could do Kofi and Omega. You could do Creed and Omega. You can do Kofi and Ospreay. There are a world of opportunities and possibilities here that are going to fucking slap bang and fuck. So I'm just going to throw it out there, okay? But speaking of slap banging and fucking, Meanie, I want to thank you for answering the questions here every week on Ask Meanie. We appreciate you, sir. We appreciate your time as always. But, oh, wait, let me get Danny a shout here.
This is a drizzling shit.
Thank you, Danny. But Meanie.
Yes.
It's that time, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Where can everybody keep up to date with all things blue when they're not watching the program?
If you would like to follow the Blue Meanie on all forms of social media, it's if you would like to let me start that one over. If you would like to follow the Blue Meanie on all forms of social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Blue Meanie BWO, wherever you do your social mediaing. If you would like to support Blue Meanie, go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie. If you would like to support mine and Meanie, go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Meanie Mind of the Meanie. Make madcatbeardcare.com. Blue spruce beard oil or balm. Shout out to Josh Thornton doing an amazing job over there rounding up the cats. Taken to the vet, pays for him out of his own pocket. So any dime you spend over there at madcatbeardcare.com goes to taking care of the cats. So cat lover like myself, go give them a shout. So the Ultra Pro Wrestling video game coming to all major consoles. The Ultra Pro Wrestling video game, start that over again. The Ultra Pro Wrestling video game coming to all major consoles. The Ultra Pro Wrestling video game contains not only original characters by the amazing Hal Haney, but many real-world wrestlers, including myself and many others. I'm trying not to spoil. So go to ultraprowrestling.com or follow them on Twitter at UPW video game. That's ultraprowrestling.com or follow them on Twitter at UPW video game. To have the Blue Meanie on your podcast, go to podstars.net. That's podstrz.net. Register your podcast, book the Blue Guy. Let's have a conversation over there at podstars.net. I'm batting 1,000 today.
You're good, man. Take your time. You're good.
Yeah. Cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO for birthdays, holidays, and well wishes. Please book through the website. Don't book through the app. The app takes way too much of your hard-earned money. I've done a few over the last couple of weeks, and they're always fun to do and try and make somebody's day a little bit brighter. So go to cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO. But most importantly, Mr. Barnard, now that I made it through that, where can we find you, good sir?
Well, thank you, sir. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Threads, which Threads is my new favorite fucking insane platform. If you've never been there before and you haven't tried it, you get fed a lot of stuff in the algorithm. And let me tell you, some of that shit, perfection. I can sit there all day long and watch some of the stuff. It's just, you have to experience it. It's like what Twitter used to be. Okay, without the breaking news, because we need that to come back. But again, go over in Threads. But again, anyway, my handle is This Is Goober. Yes, it's my handle. No, I'm not changing it. It's a brand pal. So go and find me on all forms of social. You can also find me at The Sportster and Give Me Sport. All of my work is over there right now. Again, I got great interviews coming up. I have an interview with Brian Storkel from Hulk Hogan's Real American. Spoke to Chavo Guerrero Jr. He is the wrestling coordinator for Margot's Got Money Troubles over on Apple TV, which was one of the highest rated show on that platform right now. People are raving about it. Got a bunch of award nominations already. And then I spoke to John Thorne and Adam Wilde, the director and the owner of the AIW documentary, Slow Burn Shoot. So there's a lot of good stuff coming there. Hopefully some more things coming as well. But all my WrestleMania content's out right now over at the Sportster and Give Me Sport. You can also check out my other show, Foundation Radio, over at foundationradio.net and youtube.com/@foundationradiopod. And I'd like to announce this here officially for the first time that I will be fielding red carpet media of select shows at Tribeca Film Festival this year for Foundation Media. I'm very excited about that. It's my first dip back into the world of film and television and everything else after I left Screen Rant. So I'm very excited to bring you everything from there. So you see me and my purple mic flag out there at some point in June. So go ahead and check me out there. ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Keep the lights on at Casa DeMeanie and the Barnard Home for Wayward and Troubled Youth. Don't forget to go to patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Tiers start at just $10 human dollars and youtube.com/@Mind of the Meanie. You can find all of our shows going back to the year of our Lord Jesus Christ, 2021. And that was the first couple of shows we did, Meanie. I don't know if you remember. That was our first foray back then. Those handful of shows we did.
Here we are all these years later, bro.
All these, man, it's crazy, man. We're good. Like I said, 5 years of doing the show together. Actually, it'll be, I guess, technically 6 years. But in any event, who's counting? And we want to thank you for being here because, again, we could not do this show without you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being here. And you can follow the show at all forms of social media down there at the bottom. Meanie, I want to thank you, good sir. And I want to thank you for listening, watching, and whatever the hell you're doing right now. You could be anywhere in the world and you're listening to us. So we thank you. For the Blue Meanie, I am Adam Barnard. Join us again each and every week as we take a trip through the mind
Blue World Order.
of the Meanie.
Blue Meanie very cursed.
Peace.
Blue World Order.
This episode of Mind of the Meanie is hosted and executively produced by the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard. It was mixed and engineered by Carl Pinnell. Additional narration is provided by the executive voice, Sam Krebs. That's me. Our intro music was performed by the Swamp Candles. Our outro music was performed by Chikara. Additional musical accompaniment is performed by Enrichment. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, or X or whatever, at Mind of the Meanie, and become part of the Pod Squad by going to patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Find our entire show archive at mindofthemeanie.com. This has been a Butts Carlton media production. Butts Carlton, proprietor.
Blue World Order.
That was Blue Meanie's brain out.